I've decided to add an extra sim to my family because I am curious to know if it will be a little different or it will be exactly the same. So I am back once again, not controlling my sims for 24 sim hours. So far, we're kind of off to a good start. They're having a lovely conversation at 8:15 in the morning. If you're curious about the sim that I added, her name is Swaza, and aww. 8:50, Swaza decides to go watch TV. I'm surprised, out of the both of us, she wants to go watch TV. The first one, and yet she wanted to smell the new home as well. And as for me, I'm just following in. I'm so happy and perky. It is 9:16 and we are talking and not really watching the TV. So I just want to also point out that because this is future MZ narrating this, there is a lot of us just mostly talking and not doing much. So I'm mostly gonna cut those bits out and only focus on the little points that we do differently. So yeah, we mostly just sit on the lounge and talk to each other while the TV is blaring. And sound is going and all that stuff. And I'm talking about video games, ironically. I'm talking about computers. Kind of a little ironic, though. Why is our conversation so ironic? It's like polar opposites. And then we're back to watching the TV. Since it is 10:41 and the welcome wagon is already waiting for us outside and with food, I just want to point out, even though there are two Sims, I thought at least one of them would go and greet the neighbors, but no. No, we're just both heartless and we could just ignore them. And talking about death. 11:28, Swaza decides to go on her phone and I'm just talking to myself and watching the TV, or talking to the TV. And then I decide to join in on my phone at 11:46, whereas at the same time, Swaza decides that she has had enough phone time. Oh my goodness, the tapping sound effects is insane. 1:07, Swaza decides to go get a book. And yeah, during that whole time of them just talking to each other and doing absolutely nothing other than just talking to each other, I decided to speed it up a little until they did something. So yeah, she decides to grab a book, but eventually, the second she finishes reading the book and puts it away, you probably already guessed it. And yeah, she had to do her genius thinking face. And look at this. Look at this. Back to conversation. 2:10, Swaza decides to use the bathroom. At 3:09 or 3:10, practically an hour later, I decide to use the bathroom. At 3:55, Swaza decides to go get another book and just stand there and read it. At 6:12 p.m., Swaza decided to make dinner as she is feeling very focused right now. I wonder what she's cooking. It looks like some type of stew. What did she put in there? Puts the stew in a bowl, and at 6:35, she calls everyone to meal, picks up a meal, and instead of going to the table, she decides to walk over to the couch. And then I just happen to follow right after. And yep, we just then eat and talk on that couch. Or lounge. 7:09, I finish my dinner and decide to go wash my bowl. And at the exact same time, almost not exact same time, by 7:13, Swaza had also finished and had to go wash it, but because I was using the kitchen sink, she had to go use the bathroom sink. 7:28, pretty much just both of us standing and talking in the bathroom. 7:44, decide to go back to the TV. And I think I tooted. And Swaza stays in the bathroom. And then I go back into the bathroom at 7:57 to talk with Swaza. This, yeah, a lot of talking. And a lot of backwards and forwards between the lounge. 9:25, Swaza decides to call it a day and go to bed. And she takes the double bed. And at 9:43, I then decide to go to bed. 6:20 a.m., Swaza decides to wake up and go to the bathroom first thing in the morning. And she's doing her genius thinky face too. But to be fair, she did go to bed a few minutes or sim minutes earlier than me. I then decided to get up at 6:36 in the morning and I felt hungry, so I'm happily trotting over to make myself food, and apparently no one dealt with last night's dinner stew and it went off. Swaza randomly decides to put it on the table at 6:51 in the morning, and I am making some type of toast. Now I am cooking something mushy. What could it be? Whatever it is, Swaza likes the smell of it. So it looks like I made myself some eggs and toast, pretty much my everyday breakfast, and then Swaza decides to grab a quick little snack, pre-made meal from the fridge, and we both don't sit at the table. We sit on the lounge again, eating and talking. 7:42, Swaza has finished her meal, but decides to put it on the table instead of properly cleaning up. And then at 7:48 a.m., I do the exact same thing. Swaza then decides to do it properly at 7:57 by cleaning up my plate, her plate, and even last night's stew. And it looks like I need to go to the bathroom badly, but I'm still doing nothing about it. Just sitting there. At 8:16 a.m., I finally decide to go to the bathroom, and as for Swaza, at 8:20 a.m., she goes reads the book, but instead of just standing there, she finally uses the table and chair set. So that's just pretty much both my Sims when I don't control them for 24 hours. And honestly, it's a little disappointing. I thought they would have done something a little bit more productive than just talking to each other.